Hi, Arthur, let's steal some things together. We're going to do that specifically in Thief, because if you do it in real life, then you go to prison. And I can't go back there again.
It's not a good place. But that's only if they catch you. So
That's
you
true.
don't ever let the pigs touch you.
Thief just came out today. It's on everything. I'm playing it on PC right now. You played it on what, Xbone?
I played it on Xbox One and PS4.
Okay, so you know all about the next gen experience.
I do.
It is a game that a lot of people are "what's up" talking about because it's
Oh, that was a terrible mistake.
well,
Griffin.
I didn't see the second guy. I
The
don't
pigs
know.
are gonna get you. Get in the cabinet. Get in the cabinet. Oh my god.
No one has to know. While we wait this out, we can talk about sort of the general reaction of the game. It's not doing super well, critically speaking. Because
No, there are a couple of outliers. I think Game Informer and Joystick both dug it. I think I fell somewhere in the middle.
you did write our review. I'll tell you where I fall. I don't like it. Pretty
You don't
much.
like it?
Pretty much at all. It is, and whenever people have said that, I've seen a lot of reaction to your review. People saying like, "Well, you expect it to be some sort of action game, when really it's just all about stealth. It's stealthy, stealth. Which is like true, yeah, it is like stealth. But like, I'm pretty sure that at this point everybody kind of knows what the Thief experience is like. Are they
And
gone?
I mean, that's what I wanted it to be. Oh, you could knock him out. You could knock him out. Oh, but there's another guy that's gonna see you do it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
No,
pick that
don't
lock.
pickle Garrett. Stop it. So we can show off the game's really.
You did pretty well there.
Yeah, you know what I did? I just tapped the blackjack button over and over again. Okay, so here's
This is not how you want to play Thief.
No, I'm doing a bad job. This is how you want to play. Whoosh.
Yes.
Steal the fires.
Whoosh.
I'm gonna get out of here because it's pretty hot. Can you talk about why people are not loving the game so much?
I mean, it's hard to say what other people think about it because.
Tell me why you didn't love the game.
Right, and I mean, who cares about other people? I think that the problem is that Thief narrows down quite a bit in giant parts of the game. That the things that Thief is best at is parts like this in the city, unless you're Griffin and you attack people that you shouldn't. Where you're sort of sneaking around and stealing things and exploring the city and sort of getting to know the world that Thief is set in, because that world is not uninteresting. Like there's some cool stuff happening.
There is, and it is when it's not bugging out, it's an incredibly beautiful game.
Yes.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Like I thought it looked pretty good on next gen consoles, but there are some considerable frame rate problems in parts. And that shouldn't be an issue on PC, obviously. That's a vendor. He can sell you things.
A lot of nice things, stranger.
Whereas on PC, that's obviously not a problem.
Yeah.
Like there's no frame rate problems there. But yeah, it's a great looking game, and just there's an intricacy to everything that goes just a major step beyond any other game like this that I think we've seen. Like Garrett in particular is a very detailed character. There's a lot happening there. And
Although the story, from what I've played, is like not great.
it might be, it's probably the dumbest Thief game by a good stretch. It doesn't make any sense.
You have a female accomplice in the tutorial mission, which to me so far is the best part of the game, who gets impaired, I guess, without spoiling what happens, and then I'm on like a quest for vengeance or something.
Or something, I think, pretty much categorizes the story in this game. Don't take him down. He's just a dude.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I stole his consciousness from him.
Yes, you did. You stole the life right out of him.
I think the thing that's causing the most friction right now. Oh, is this a stealable? Yep. Get that. Oh, I found a nice little collectible.
Oh, I don't know if I ever found that. That's cute.
It's because I'm better at this video game than you are.
That's a good point. Most people are.
Main point of friction is the locomotion. I'm not really in love with. You don't have a jump button. You have for me it's left trigger, which makes you run. It makes you scale some objects. Not these barrels though.
Yes.
I can scale that though. lets you jump up to catch ladders. It will let you run up some walls if they have bird shit on them.
It's an interesting sort of Assassin's Creed Mirror's Edge kind of locomotion.
Yeah, except
system,
without like 10% of the fluidity.
Right. It's much more restricted in where you can go, and that's not always a bad thing, but it's often a frustrating thing.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you should be able to climb on a barrel. Maybe it's not going to get you anywhere, but you should be able to climb on a barrel.
It has sort of that Mirror's Edge visual indication style, because like if things glow blue like that, then I know that I can take a run at it and then jump up and claw up there. But like that only works some of the time, and it makes the world feel so closed off that you can only like really explore some of it.
And that's one of the major departures, the sort of babying down of Thief, I guess, that hardcore Thief fans would call it, and a very clear nod to Dishonored. And there are a few of those in this game. The swoop being an example.
Yeah, I'll show that swoop off because it's the best part. You just, in lieu of jumping, you just tap A and it lets you just swoop, 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 swoop. Here I go, here I go, here I go again, Arthur. What's my weakness?
Everything that's not that.
We were looking for men. Okay, then. Chillin'. Yeah, so you can move from shadow to shadow. If people are... Even if you're, like, sort of in direct line of sight with somebody, if you swoop fast enough, you can sort of get past them. But yeah, that is the swoop. So yeah, like, sort of in general, like, I don't know, it just never... I never feel that sort of intuitive, like, this window, you can see there's some light coming through it, which means it's one of the few, like, portals in this world that you can actually go through.
Right.
But to me, the game is not intuitive enough. And maybe I just haven't been playing long enough, because I've only been playing a couple hours. But, like, I don't really see a clear line to get up there. Oh, except for that. Yeah. Oh, this is so
you need a rope arrow.
Stupid. This is the dumbest and worst thing. You have an arrow that lets you grapple onto stuff, except I have encountered exactly, this is the third place that I can use them.
Right, and that's one of the sort of disappointing things, is that it teases you with the potential for, like, some cool gear that can get you to some cool places, and it just doesn't use it very often.
Right.
Like, there's a real underutilization.
You can only use that rope arrow at places where there is wood with rope tied around. It's just such a, like, dumb convention.
It's rope on rope, Griffin. Come on, it's magic.
One of the things I really don't like is that there are a few of these kinds of animations that you have to do very, very frequently. Every time you go in a window, you have to do that. Or out of a window, you have to do that, and then it shuts right behind you.
So this room is creepy as hell. Just throw that out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are very few rooms that are, like, cool. I should probably...
Yeah, like, there's some especially disturbing stuff on a table.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. I'm going to go creep mode, because they're probably dudes.
To go back to what you're saying, like, I think that there's a real lack of cohesion that defined a game like Dishonored, and, like, we're going to have to make the Dishonored comparison because it practically begs it between Focus and the Swoop. There's a cohesion and a real good visual vocabulary of understanding and what you can do in Dishonored and where you can go. And Thief is much more arbitrary in that regard, where it's not clear where you can go and that you need to try something and just be rebuffed or have no reaction whatsoever to know that, no, that's not an option. There's your nice chest full of dead birds.
All right. I'm going to get some of those.
And
eat
some
them
food.
For strength.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like, visual confusion, I'm going to show off. Let me read this tear-soaked diary. So many sad thoughts. The map is probably, I don't want to be hyperbolic, the worst map. Well, this isn't a great... We'll show it when it's outside.
Sure. I think scientists would call it poop from a butt.
It's so unbelievably bad. There's a lot of this animation, too.
One thing I will give the game that's kind of an intuitive thing that it does is if you go to a set of drawers and hit the X button to open the top one, when you finish that animation, he's looking at the next drawer. So you just have to hit X to go on.
Yeah.
Which almost makes up for the fact that you have to pound the X button repeatedly.
Just to get through all the drawers.
And that broke for me repeated times, especially there are parts where you have to shove yourself through like a narrow area and like push a beam out of the way. and hit X to move it, and there were times where the beam just wouldn't move.
So this is a pretty major loop for the game. Just like I came across a window that was cracked, opened it, and then stole everything that was inside, which I'll turn into money that I can use to purchase new upgrades. Let's just do this crowbar animation.
And you never have to fence anything, which is an interesting choice.
And God bless it, because you will steal hundreds of things.
I have so many cups. He has a very large bag that he takes around with him. Also, you want to be careful coming down off that beam if that's your intention, because if you land on one of those women, you might kill them or otherwise provoke them.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Don't do that.
So this is actually one of the better map areas, but like you can see, the world is it's not as open as you think it is. It's a lot of corridors that are sort of interlocked in all these different ways, and like figuring out like what is this little square, like figuring out how you get from one area to the other, because like this grayed out area is the next area. How do you get over there? Like there's an elevation level to the map that is so not clear.
It's inscrutable.
It's inscrutable, and then there are these sort of more straightforward. Yeah, I definitely have a takedown option, which I'm not going to use. There's straightforward missions that you will encounter on the map that you can do, and those are a little bit harder to get lost in. Swooped off there. Those are harder to get lost in because it's more linear. But getting from point A to point B in the overworld, for lack of a better term, is just the worst. I never look forward to it, because like not only do you have to navigate the map and stuff, but like you have to. And I know this sounds like a really petty. Wow, nobody's come across this yet. I know this sounds like a petty complaint, but just like go see this person, okay? And then there's like so many patrol guards just wandering the street for you to dodge while you do that. It's just not. I know it's a stealth game, but like doing that loop over and over and over again with very, very little variation is just not great. Sorry.
You're sort of in the light. I actually like early on the loop, maneuvering through the city, avoiding patrols, not getting seen. But I think later on, it actually adds more and more guards and competing factions of guards. You choked him, dog.
It also adds stuff like broken glass on the ground and more lights. And you have birds which, if you move too much around them, they'll freak out and make noise. But I mean, you do have all these tools at your disposal, like you can throw a bottle and distract people, or you have water arrows that you can use to... if you shoot that at a torch, and you can disable it. Like, it's very, a lot of staple mechanics. It's just like it never...
Which is very traditional from Thief.
Yeah, definitely. It just doesn't feel like they evolved those really at all. The stealthiness of it is like, yeah, it's good. It is a good stealth, a good set of stealth mechanics. But like, other games that have come out have also had really great stealth mechanics and done other stuff too. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, I feel like Thief doesn't get a pass because it specifically focuses on one thing, if other games are also doing that one thing and doing some other stuff too. Like,
well, the problem is that it does that one thing sometimes, but it seems really extraordinarily distracted by other things instead of focusing on the stealth. If the game stayed largely what you played, I don't know that you'd like it, but it would be a better game than what it ends up being, because it focuses so much on straight lines from point A to point B, and it doesn't do that well at all. It doesn't do combat well. It doesn't do story well. Like, it has a great sense of place, and the world is really interesting, but the story is garbage. So it focuses on doing all these things that just that it's not good at. And it makes it's really distracting from what the game does well.
Which is stealing things.
Which is stealing from bros.
Talk about, you mentioned that some of the best stuff in the game are these heists.
Right.
Which,
I mean, there's not really any heists. There are break-in missions that involve mansions specifically, that involve large houses with lots of secret rooms and secret passages and traps and puzzles to solve. And in that, you feel like the cat burglar that you're supposed to be. You feel like you're unraveling this mystery for financial gain, and that's cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't do that very often. Like, I'm going to blow your mind right now, Griffin. To your right is a pathway to another district.
Oh, in
And
here?
you would never know it.
Where is it?
Go between those boxes.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Yep. I got stuck for an hour looking for that.
That's crazy town.
Yeah. So that's a big problem in this game, is that it really sucks at communicating where you can go and where you're supposed to be going.
Well, I mean, sometimes, like, hey, game, can I go through this door? Like, yes, you can. Look at God's guiding light that we've shown down. It's like, it's either, like, no visual indication at all, or, like, angels in the outfield.
It's a real bummer that it's not even that it won't hold your hand and show you where to go, because I can live with needing to figure things out, but there's no consistency in understanding the world. And that's a real problem.
What is that guy
especially in a
doing?
stealth game.
What's he
It
doing?
broke.
Maybe this is a good time to mention this is a non-final PC build, but, like, man, that is going to
Wow.
be a hard cone of vision to sneak by.
That's impressive.
I have to set him free. I have to shuffle him off.
Put him out of his misery. See, what you're doing right now, I literally never did in the entire time I was playing the game.
What,
I didn't kill any.
Mercy killed somebody?
I never killed anybody playing the game. Which is one of the things I appreciate, is that I like stealth games that allow you to play through non-lethally, and given the chance, that's usually what I do.
Yeah, me too. I'm just killing people a lot in this stream because I want to get to places, and waiting for people to pass is not especially exciting. Okay, so we're going to use a little movie magic and jump ahead a little bit to a mission because, A, I think the missions are the way better part of the game, and B, I don't think me stumbling around the city for a half hour is especially great television. So here we are in the Brothel Mission.
Oh, gosh.
Arthur, you're going to have to warn me where not to look to avoid the explicit sex scenes.
So there's only one explicit sex scene, really.
Oh, God. So
you
I
bugged?
just... No, I kicked a vase or something, and I made a noise.
Oh, man.
So those guys were, like, aware of my presence, but they didn't stab me to death, so I'm gonna...
So when you see that indicator, it means that they heard something, but they don't know that someone is there.
Right, so you can sort of wait for that effect to wear off and then start moving on through.
And there are audio cues that sort of suggest when people can maybe see you.
And they're really actually very good. That's one
Yeah.
of the better part of the games is... That's, like, the biggest stumbling block, I think, for stealth games is, like, indicating when you can and can't be seen. You can see that little indicator. I don't think we've talked about it down there in the bottom left that will tell you when you're in light or not.
The light gem.
And then there's really good audio indicators and visual indicators. So let's talk about this because we haven't talked at all about the character upgrades. You can buy different tools.
Player progression, I think it's in, yeah.
You can buy different tools from one of the main vendors in the game, and you can use these to access different parts of the environment or retrieve certain valuables. Like I can use this razor to cut paintings out and take those with me. But it sort of opens up a lot of the branching opportunities that you have, like to do missions. So in this one, I could probably go over here and try and sneak by these guys or try and take them out. Or I can use the wrench I bought to just do this. It's not an especially, like, deep or complex thing because the vents are almost always like the best stealthiest opportunity, and once you invest in that wrench, like, you know, that's the way to go. But it is
to the point where it's almost a little strange that you need to buy those tools because they're really cheap. It doesn't take much to get
it really
them.
doesn't. You can also, I guess let's show the focus upgrades too. You can so most of your abilities are driven by these focus upgrades. You can get these points. You can find them apparently, just like in the world.
It'll occasionally give you one for finishing a quest or a chapter.
Yeah, I haven't managed to do that yet. The other way you get it is to donate money to the Queen of Beggars, which is, I mean, having to return to her just to like get one of these points is kind of a pain, but. It is what it is. But this lets you sort of upgrade your character. So you can... I use this one, which makes it so that I drain my pool of focus energy a little bit slower, which is good because I use that a lot. It's sort of the detective vision of Thief. It's Thief vision. And then there's other stuff that, like, for instance, slows down the world whenever you're picking locks.
If you get the second level of dexterity, it actually completely changes the lockpicking minigame when you have focus enabled.
Oh, interesting.
It goes to a sort of X-ray view of the tumblers inside the lock, and you just hit up on your stick and pull the trigger to get the tumbler positioned correctly.
So, like, it does make, like, all of the looting that you do in the game, and God, you do a lot, feel, like, valuable. Because there is a marked difference between, like, how you are with and without those upgrades. He did a little stumble down that slick wall.
Whenever that happens, that means that you can't go back up where you came from, and that happens a lot in Thief.
It is one of the many ways that Thief locks you into places. Okay, there are vases freaking everywhere in this world.
Did you step on some glass?
I didn't step on some glass. I knocked something over.
Well, maybe you should pay more attention, Klutzy Foot.
Well, it's dark, and I'm trying to narrate.
It's so dark.
Can this guy see me while is
No.
peeking like invisibility?
You've not quite as much as Dishonored, but for the most part, yeah. And also you were totally in the dark, and they can't see into the dark unless they have a light or a torch.
Sweet. So yeah, hook up there, climb up this wall. I forget what it is I'm doing at this brothel.
You are trying to investigate the past of your former partner.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Let's throw this switch.
I don't know if you've noticed this yet, Griffin, but this game is awesome to women. It's just awesome.
Yeah, so the missions are really just opportunities to sneak around and grab as much loot as you can. There's usually a, like, overarching puzzle to solve that will let you, for instance, figure out the combination to a safe that will give you lots and lots of money if you can solve it.
Yep. So, Parental Advisory, there are boobs just all over the place.
Oh, man. It's going to have to... This is a new kind of stealth game.
Yes.
Because now I have to sneak around without seeing any of those. It's just, you know what? I try to keep things PG-13.
Well, we've just crossed the Rubicon on that one, I think.
We haven't seen anything yet, have we?
Someone walked by.
Oh, God, no. Well, hopefully people are adults.
You could put a black bar in.
Yeah, I know how to do that in the video editing software I've been using for a week. Oh, this is my favorite part. Oh, God.
No.
I thought he was asleep.
I think when they're standing against the wall like that, they're less aware, but they're not asleep. When they're asleep, they snore.
Okay.
As you do.
Very Metal Gear, original Metal Gear.
Well, you gotta have audio cues to let
Yeah.
people know, no.
I'm gonna steal this real quick.
So this is actually, I think, the place in the game where you can steal the most stuff.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I like that. This is my favorite part of the game. Like, I feel like up until this point we've been really, really hard on the game.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. Like, this is, I like this. This is very...
man, I'm just grabbing all this stuff. This is the best part.
Right, like, that was always my favorite part of stealth games, and they, I don't think there's a franchise that leans as heavily into that aspect of, like, I'm going to steal everything as Thief does.
Right.
And it works, man.
And it's funny because it's something that you do in stuff like BioShock and Dishonored, and it doesn't make as much sense there. Like, it's kind of funny that, like, you're just digging through trash cans and stealing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But here, see, breasts.
It's okay. Nobody saw those. It's cool.
Where, like, in those games, it's funny, like, because it's like, why is this guy digging through all these trash cans? And in this, it's like, man, I would really like to dig through some trash cans, and it won't let me.
Sure, because there may be money in there.
It's like you're a kid looking for quarters for the arcade or something. I'll just look everywhere. It's got to be around here somewhere.
Okay, that's a man just sleeping. Can I blackjack him? If I hit this
No.
vase, will it wake him up?
No, he's it might get the attention of the guard down there though.
Nope, it won't, because I just swooped right in here. Now nobody needs to know. Oh, please don't let there be people having sex in there.
No, there's some cuddling, but the sex is much farther in this level. Spoilers.
Oh, there's a
Sorry.
little clue. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of the puzzles are actually pretty clever. There was one where I had to crack a safe, but first I had to figure out where the combination for that safe was. And then you find a little girl's diary, and it reveals that she hid inside a cabinet and watched her dad do the combination, and then she scratched it on the inside of the cabinet. So there's actually like a little closet that you have to climb into, and then you can look around while you're inside the closet, and then like sort of scrawled on the wall is the combination. Can I?
Oh, Griffin, this is going to be the worst idea you ever had.
No, this is great.
You're peeking out.
Shh, 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 shh.
Shh, shh, shh. Also, the bottle doesn't work a lot of times, which is kind of effed up.
I think I heard a music cue, which made it. I think we're good.
Anyone there? In the shadows?
Oh, God.
Oh, there's a bird. No, I hate those GD birds.
You hate the GD birds? Is that like the brand of birds?
Shit. Okay. Well.
False alarm.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, one of the interesting things is that it auto-saves every time you go into a cabinet.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, you'll see the little save icon in the upper left corner.
Well, that's handy.
Maybe because that's like a, quote, safe place to be for a second. Although they will open cabinets.
Yeah.
If they're especially suspicious. And early on, it sort of makes a point of telling you via audio cues that they'll do it. Like it'll have a guy saying, I'm going to look inside this cabinet. So it establishes pretty early.
I'm really glad that we hopped ahead to this, because this is so much better than the overworld stuff. Like, getting to places in this game is such an enormous bummer, and then once you're at the places, it's usually pretty good. Usually. Not always, not actually, usually, about half the time. This level actually becomes incredibly linear later. To the point where you're just moving forward. But see, like, that linearity I'm fine with, because it is proven that it is completely incapable of handling, like, an open world structure. Because just being in the city, like, sucks. Is there any treasure in there? Wow, that is a sturdy vase.
Maybe you just have a really pathetic blackjack. Do you feel like a man now, Griffin?
I do. Yeah, the lockpicking... Wait a second. Should see if there's any other stuff in here. This is the thief vish I was talking about. Looks like we're good. Does the lockpicking become more like rewarding when you have that upgrade that lets you see inside of it? Because basically all I'm doing right now is twisting the left stick around until my controller vibrates and I see that little circle, and then I hit.
So this is a pretty traditional lockpicking mechanic. I mean, it's basically been a lockpicking mechanic since Splinter Cell, and I actually like it because it's something that you can do.
It's challenging though.
So you're playing on PC with an Xbox 360 controller right now.
That's right.
On the Xbox One version, it's actually one of the games that uses all of the rumble motors in the controller, including the triggers.
Oh.
And so there's a lot of feedback in the lockpicking game. But if you get the focus upgrade, you see inside of the lock.
I mean, it's not especially difficult as is, so I'm not really sure why.
It gets harder later on.
Yeah, and I imagine it's like a pressure thing. Like if you have a bunch of guards there and you need to get through a door and the door is locked, then...
And there are definitely those situations, and there are those situations and 4 and 5 lock tumblers, and if you if you screw up and make a sound, it makes a noise.
Yeah.
And people can hear you.
Let's see if I can figure this out. There's a lot of, I imagine that I need that 4th document if I'm going to suss that out. That or like people watching are screaming like, it's 456, come on. Oh, see, I really don't want to look through any holes in this place.
I don't think that's going to be a problem there. As far as I know, there's only one scene that we really don't want to show. Yeah. See, that's just like, so you can see people out there. It's so the story that it's sort of setting up here is that, like, there's a lot of secrets that get told in the brothel, and that like the madam and her employees are spying on the nobility and the wealthy people of the city.
Makes sense.
And it does that all incidentally. It doesn't really do very well to explain it.
This is the other sort of... No, I know. I just wanted to show what I'm doing here.
It's kind of neat the way his fingers dance around it. Like, he's got very expressive hands.
It is neat, yeah. It's like he's painting DJing. This is the other sort of interactive I don't know, thiefy thing that you do. Why did that close?
Yep.
And now I'm locked in this room again.
Yep. Forward progression.
So yeah, I think we've covered most of the basics now. I really liked the earlier mission where you're in a meat factory.
Uh-huh.
And there are these hooks from the ceiling that you have to get up to and then hang from to move around the factory, so long as you jump down and get lost before...
Okay, so you don't want to look through that hole.
Oh, yeah? Oh, don't I? Are you sure?
Not on the stream.
Not today. Perverted viewers.
This is where the more graphic sexual content in the game is found, all of which is pretty... I mean, if you grew up on the internet, Chancellor, there's not going to be anything here that is especially titillating. It seems really dumb, honestly, but it is fairly graphic for a video game.
I mean, human bodies are beautiful, Arthur. I don't know why you have to be such a prude.
It's a good point, yeah.
So yeah, Thief. Good in places. I feel like we may have been a little too hard on it in the beginning. Because I like playing it, but like parts of the game are just so not enjoyable that it is makes it a bit
it's a game of medium highs and low lows.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was informative. We're gonna have more stuff this week. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, which is apparently pretty good.
It's real good.
That's exciting. So we'll check those out a bit later on. But Arthur, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Griffin.
And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.